Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently fighting India, and this battle here, the game is currently projecting to be very likely that we lose. We already have these guys force marching down, and we'll see if they get there in time. It's 31 August right now. Unfortunately, we can't put this on unit reorg because we're not the territory controller of this territory, but we are going to get a morale bump here. Okay. So that definitely made things different here. So that's good. At this point, of course, we have these guys on their way down. Their primary goal is to come down here and kick out some of these guys in this area. So we're going to fight this force here. That looks good. Now, this battle is occurring and this battle is occurring. They have reinforcements on the way in, and a lot of them. We may be forced to retreat here. We won this battle, so that's good. These guys are going to come in and attack us as well. I wish them luck in that engagement. We're going to fight here as well as here, so that's all looking good. The question is, can we just peace out right now? Well, they would accept a white peace, but what about territorial demands? They would accept this. They would still accept this. But I really, really want to, bare minimum, take all of the territory that they have up here. And they're not going to accept this at this time. I would like to also take some of this up over here and push them back over this way, but I don't know how realistic that really is. This is already 55 aggressive expansion. So they have 30 reasons to not accept this, and that is understood. We may end up losing this battle. We'll find out. They have a lot of reinforcements coming in here. Our reinforcements got in as well. But they're piling more and more in. So we stack wiped this down over here, and that's absolutely understood. I want to come down this way, and these guys are also coming down this direction. They're sending more armies in. They have so many armies. And we knew this going into this. We absolutely knew that this would be the case. So we are basically in position here. We're at least going to bleed them more once these guys get in. Okay, our reinforcements arrived. They have more reinforcements on the way in. So our troops are objectively better than theirs, but this is a numerical gap. That's what's happening there. So that is understood. This fort is going to fall, and there we go. So we just won this battle. We can now force march these guys down and try to reinforce this. I don't know how successful we're going to be. I want this force to start heading over here, because we absolutely need to reinforce all of that. Okay, so we're victorious here. That was expected. So I want these guys to move in over here now. Actually, yeah, that seems fine. Now, this battle is not yet over. How are they doing now? 10 reasons to not accept this? That's intriguing. Okay, so we're force marching over. I don't know if we'll get here in time. Morale is low. We needed to get these guys over a lot faster. But, I mean, this is what we got, so let's move in here. We're going to get a nice morale bump and a nice numerical bump, but they have more people coming in from over here. Okay. We're definitely bleeding them here. So they are currently at 60, or rather, we are currently at 60. They capped here. Noted. We're going to need to pull one of these forces back, but that's okay. So at this point, they have 5 reasons to not accept this. Just 5. They've got another reinforcement army coming in here. So we're not going to win this battle. That is absolutely understood. They've got more reinforcements on the way there. I mean, we've got reinforcements heading in as well eventually. But yeah, that's grim. So we're going to need to retreat here, and I would like to be in control of where we retreat to. So we're going to tell our forces we're retreating to Anand. Okay, So we retreated there in good order, and we're going to get some of our reinforcements going here. Now, some of our units are force marched, and there's not really anything we can do about that. So that is understood. I want these guys to come in over here and do some battling, ideally, because we need to clean some of these up. So losing this battle definitely costed us a little bit of war score, but this war score doesn't really matter exactly. So that's good. And we're capping here. That's absolutely excellent. So we're fighting up over here. That looks good. I want to bring these guys this way. They have a lot of armies. We just won this battle, and they've got more on the way. Okay. That's fine. Do it. Okay, so at this point, 18 reasons to not accept this. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Last major battle, minus 10. Yeah. So that is understood. We're absolutely going to be fighting a fair number of these units, which is exactly what we want to be doing. Now, these guys are retreating up over this direction. These are force marched, and I want to turn off that force march for sure. There should be a second force here that is also force marched, so let's get that turned off as well. Okay, so we're now at 62, and I do want to continue to fight some of these forces. More evangelism in our lands, understood. We're going to bring these around, and I want these guys to start heading this way. Okay, so at this point, 14. Noted. So, these guys up here, unit reorg, unit reorg. And then these are also going to be in unit reorg as soon as they arrive. There we go. These guys, they're just sitting here for right now, and we're going to wait for some reinforcements from the reorganizations. So that looks good. I want you guys up over here. They're definitely gunning for that. Okay, so we're going to have to retreat here as well. They're sending huge numbers of forces at us. And we knew that this... What? Okay, I accidentally sent the offer. I didn't mean to do that. They were always going to reject it. At least I didn't do it wrong. Okay, so we can't send another diplomat until 20 April, but that doesn't matter. What I wanted to do is I wanted to check how many reasons they had for this. We're going to need to get out of this war, and we're going to need to do it quickly, right? So that is going to be absolutely a concern. We need to exit this war, and we need to do it pretty much now, because they're just going to keep sending ludicrous numbers of troops at us, and it's going to continue to be an issue. Okay, so we have managed to win this battle, which is unsurprising, and we're going to head on down here and look to continue to fight them. Now, we're at 65 war score right now. Our war score is continuing to go up, and we're still winning the vast majority of these battles. We just need to get some units down here and stem the bleeding. So that's fine for now. Okay, they have 10 reasons not to right now, and the last major battle is the primary reason for that. So that is absolutely noted. This is hills here. I'm just thinking about their division of troops here. Okay. I'm letting them move a bit. And I'm coming in now. So these guys are locked in. They will be arriving on 5 and 7 June. This battle will occur on... There isn't a battle here. Okay, we're going to fight them up here. Okay. So we do need a new rope, and that's going to be this guy. Sounds good. So this is going to be this 23k stack that we're going to defeat. That sounds fantastic. Now, we can see here, they've got forces coming in here to fight us in this location. We're going to be defending in hills, and I feel like they don't want this, but I'm going to let them lock into it. Okay, I'm going to get these guys moving over here. They're locked in. We're going to head in like so. Beautiful. So we're easily defeating this army. That was fully expected. And now we're going to come in over here like this. We're at 68 at this point. So they're at medium, and they have 5 reasons to not accept this peace deal, which this would be a very big peace deal, right? We would get all of this territory. I would prefer it if we were able to push them back to here. We'll see how viable that ends up being, but I want this pair of armies here, which definitely needs some reinforcement. I want them to come on down here. Okay, so they are on their way in to reinforce this situation. So this battle is occurring, and that's looking good for us. We're going to continue to reinforce that. This battle is occurring up here. That also looks good for us. Cool. Yeah, this looks very good. We're going to win a couple of major battles and can likely force a peace after this. So that will be absolutely phenomenal. So they have additional forces piling in up over here. Gera is sending reinforcements here, though, so that should be okay. They have another 50k coming in over here. But we should be okay there, too. They're still piling reinforcements in up here. Like I said, they have a huge number of armies. And that's absolutely understood. Oh! They just hit a crisis. Okay, well, I wish them luck with that. Actually, I don't. So they're continuing to pile forces in over here, which is understood. And they're continuing to pile forces in over here, but so is Gera. So for right now, man, here comes another stack. They just have so many army stacks. Okay. So peace is going to be enforced shortly. I'm wondering, they would currently accept this. Do we want to just do this? I would really prefer that we take this up here, but they just keep piling in the stacks. I kind of want out of this war at this point. We're going to win this battle. This battle is much more questionable. If we were going to win this battle, I would say we should just win this battle, take this point, auto cap, and peace out. I don't think we're going to win this battle in the long term here. So if that's the case, then that means that we should just take our peace deal right now and call it good. This is already going to be 56 AE. So I think this is about what we're going to get. So let's do it. I would love to take these territories out over here. Unfortunately, this stack is in our backline and capped this, so we're not even going to get this, but we at least get this. So that looks reasonable. We're going to have to flip this over to Gera. So this is going to need to flip to them, unfortunately for us, because we need to annex it. But that's fine, I guess. It's not a huge amount of territory. So that gives us that, like this. It cleans up the borders. It's a decent amount of aggressive expansion. And I just want out of this war at this point before we lose this battle and before they start streaming in over here. So we got to get out of this war. Let's just take our winnings and go home. Beautiful. Okay. So these guys, they're going to need to head up over here. Well, I'm thinking about how we're going to want to do this. This is 4 armies. I'm going to take them up all the way over to here. Like that. And then we've got these 4 armies here. And I'm going to have some of them sitting down over here. So we're going to have one sit here. I'm going to have one army head up over to, like, here. And then I'm going to have another one go about here. And then the last army is going to make their way up over this direction, where we're going to want to eventually go into some road building. Okay, so we'll do something kind of like that. Now, as far as these guys go, They're all going to the same destination right now. We don't necessarily want that, but this will be fine for the moment. So as we expected, that was a big war. We mostly got what we wanted out of it. We didn't get everything that we could have ever dreamed of, but it went pretty well, all things considered. But we had to get out of that war before they piled in too many forces. Now, our issue here isn't our manpower. Our issue is just how long it takes to get manpower to these armies, right? So we could definitely, before we fight them again, consider bulking up our legion count. And that may not be a terrible idea. There's definitely more legions that we can get here. But if they are going to fall into civil war, then that would be phenomenal. We'd be very happy about that. But overall, I'm going to be content with what we took there. Okay, so these guys, I'm going to put them on drilling rather than unit reorg. We would definitely like them to recover their forces, but they're not really in a great position to do that just yet. The Roman Plague, huh? Well, that's grim. Okay. Well, good thing we had a bunch of stability. So we're going to put these guys on drilling as well. That's another good reason to not be in a big war, by the way. That's a very good reason to not be in a big war. So I would love it if, well, we don't need these guys to force march, actually. We're probably better off with them not force marching. These guys are still on unit reorg. I'm going to take them off of unit reorg. Okay. There we go. So we have some prosperity here. Yeah, we're not importing a bunch of grain. That's fine. We definitely want to make back some of that stability. There we go. So that looks good. Any actual colonizable territory? No. And we do have some areas here that are having some major food issues. Now, some of these might be because of... Some of this might end up being because of the Roman Plague, but I don't think that's the case here. Probably not. It's currently March, and we could simply move this over to encourage trade, and we could probably cancel this livestock import route and go for grain here. So something like that would probably solve the problem. Okay, now we've got this area. Okay, so that is understood. We're going to need a new import route here, so let's go ahead and do that. We're also definitely going to want to put this on encourage trade. Okay. Now, up over here. Right. We've already put in a very, very, very large amount of farmers markets up here. I want this guy to move this to encourage trade as well. We're at 9 of 8 import routes. Okay. Let's bring in a little bit of grain here. And we'll see what happens on the next month tick. Okay, up over here, this is unsurprising. Very unsurprising over here as well. So what do we got going on here? Well, we could definitely put in a farmer's market there. No doubt about that. That's a new territory that we just took over. So that's definitely something to think about. We can get some farmers markets going in here, but we're going to need to get quite a lot of building work done throughout these areas. Okay, so for now what I want to do is I want to put in a bunch of farming settlements. There we go. That's every single farming settlement that we can put in. And only a single mine, but the rest of these can get slave estates. So that all looks good. Something along the lines of that. Then we can work on some of these city buildings. So we know that there's going to be a lot of places here that are going to need some pretty heavy city work. So that would be Karabshar, which is right over here. We already somewhat looked at this. So this produces spices. I don't believe that we need additional research points at this point. I also don't think we need this many ports in this area, so I'm going to get rid of this one. And the shipyard as well. I don't feel like that's necessary. No court of law here. We're going to keep the farmer's market for obvious reasons. Automatic trading should be enabled here, and we do need to go through and do automatic trading in a bunch of our locations. So for now, let's do something like that. Okay, let's go into our administration. Here we go, provinces. And we're going to need to enable automatic trading in any of these that are new provinces. Which new at this point is a relative term because it's been a while since we did this. Okay, let's do something like this. Automatic trading should be enabled for all of this. Cool. So something like that. How many more do we have here? There's one. Any additional? Here's one. Here's one. Here's a few. Okay, that looks good. So now we've got all of these constructions underway, and there are, of course, more constructions we're going to want to do. So Gabai is the next location, which is right out over here. It's got this fort. I do not feel like that fort is necessary, looking at the strategic position. Otherwise, we could make this be Freeman, since we get a Freeman boost from Earthenware. So something along the lines of that should do. Okay, next would be Patigrabana, which is here. Okay, spices. Sure, this is already reasonably set up for production. So we would do something along the lines of that, and then we've already got the forums. So that sounds great. Next, we've got Samina, which is right out over here. Okay. So we would be looking to absolutely produce more base metals here. This is a lot of things that we're not importing. Okay, I don't actually care about that. Cool. So next up is going to be foundries and slave traders, as well as taverns. Cool. Then we've got Tishtriana, which is right out over this direction. Sure. This is fine. All of the buildings here are completely okay. So we would go for slave traders and then a pair of taverns. Beautiful. Next up is Acosta, which is right out over here. This produces salt. I think the buildings are fine. So we would build foundries, mills, slave traders, and taverns. Wonderful. Risk of rebellion, not surprising at this point. So Suna is the next location. Yep, there's a lot of trading changing. Okay, so Suna is right up over here. Beautiful. No court of law here, just a foundry. We got to forge more horses in this foundry, right? So more slave traders and taverns. There we go. That'll do. So food is looking good everywhere except Evia, and we could definitely try to do something about that. The main issue here, of course, is going to be this city and this city. I'm going to ditch a Freeman district and put a farmer's market in there. Wait, that actually isn't a problem here. It's literally just this city that we control. Okay. Problem is one of 0 trade routes, I think, and we could definitely switch this guy over to encourage trade, but he's not very good at it. So that is noted. We could simply put in a granary here. It'll boost it by 1%, but that's really not going to be very much. What we really need is an import route. Okay, so that'll be relatively fine for now. We do have a lot of starving pops, although those should be solving the problem-ish. Emphasis on ish. We're working on it. So that'll all be fine for now. Now, next up would be Arshak, which is right up over here. Wonderful. So what do we got going on here? Absolutely nothing. We produce camels, so this looks good. It is time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to work on solidifying this area out over here. We've also got this, and I'm going to just straight up delete these fortresses right away so that this pops up a little bit better. We've got this settlement here as well. I'm going to get rid of that. This produces base metals, so I would like to put in a mine here. There we go. Now, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.